If you find yourself in a situation where wearing a mask is recommended, there are some important rules to follow. First, masks are only effective if they are used in combination with a good hand hygiene. Either use soap and water or an alcohol-based hand sanitizer. So, before touching the mask and putting it on, clean your hands. Check the mask for tears and holes and make sure to check which side is the top. It's usually the one that has a metal strip in it. Masks do have an inside and an outside. The inside is usually the lighter colored one. Once you've figured that out, it's time to fit the mask on your face. Pinch the metal strip so it molds to the shape of your nose. Then cover your nose, mouth, and chin. Make sure there are no gaps between your face and the mask. When you're wearing a mask, don't touch it. And don't pull it up and down while wearing it. If you do touch it accidentally, wash your hands. The same goes for taking off the mask. Pull the elastic straps from behind your ears and don't touch the front of the mask and keep it away from your face. Discard the mask immediately in a closed bin and again, wash your hands. Masks like the one that I was just wearing should not be reused. Replace them as soon as they start to get damp. If you use a self-made mask from textile, those need to be washed at least 60 degrees after every use. So, stay safe and remember, the best way to protect yourself and others from the coronavirus is by being physically distant and keeping your hands clean.
The next piece of PPE that we're going to talk about is gloves. Before putting on a glove, again, you need to wash and thoroughly dry your hands. When you put on the gloves, make sure that after you have put them on, that they are not ripped or damaged in any way, shape, or form. If you do damage them, you would need to replace them before going out into a contaminated area. As with face masks, how you remove your gloves is just as important as wearing gloves. So to remove your gloves, first, you grasp the outside glove at the wrist without touching your bare skin. You peel the glove away from your body, pulling it inside out, and you hold the glove you just removed in your gloved hand. You then peel off the second glove by putting your fingers inside the glove at the top of your wrist, and you turn out the second glove inside out while pulling it away from your body, leaving the first glove inside the second. You then dispose of the gloves safely. You do not reuse disposable gloves. After you remove your gloves, you should immediately wash your hands. This again will prevent cross-contamination. We have talked a lot about washing hands, but we haven't described how to do it. When we say you need to wash your hands, we don't mean a simple rinse off or a 5-second soap on, soap off procedure. We mean the procedure that the CDC recommends, which is a 5-step procedure. The procedure starts with wetting your hands with clean running water, turning off the tap and applying soap. You then lather your hands, rubbing them together with the soap, making sure that you lather the backs of your hands between the fingers and under your nails, and that you scrub for at least 20 seconds. You then rinse your hands well under clean running water and then dry your hands using a clean towel or air dry them. If soap and water are not readily available, you can use alcohol-based hand sanitizer that contains at least 60% alcohol. And you can tell if the sanitizer has this 60% by looking at the product label. Sanitizers can quickly reduce the number of germs on the hand in many situations. However, they are not effective when hands are visibly dirty or greasy. While using hand sanitizer is much better than not washing your hands at all, it is not as good as using soap and water and may not get rid of all germs. If you use hand sanitizer, read the hand sanitizer label to know how much the manufacturer recommends to use and place the amount that they recommend on the palm of one hand. You then rub your hands together, rubbing the gel over the surfaces of your hands and fingers until your hands are dry. This should take around 20 seconds. They also recommend that we use safe workplace practices to protect ourselves and to limit the spread of contamination. This means keeping our hands away from our faces, limit the surfaces that we touch, and we change our gloves when they are torn or heavily contaminated, and always perform proper hand hygiene, which means washing our hands often and regularly.
Cleaning. It's become the frontline defence to keep you safe from COVID-19.
We're seeing an influx of inquiry where people are wanting to disinfect their homes.
But as we all become desperate to disinfect, you want to make sure your hard work is working.
COVID-19 virus is what we call an envelope virus, so it should be fairly easy to kill.
Professor Mary Louise McLaws is a COVID-19 advisor to the World Health Organization. She says coronavirus can spread indirectly from infected droplets from a cough. It can live on a surface for hours and in the right conditions, days.
Those droplets are large and they fall because they're heavy. They don't just evaporate into the air.
When cleaning, high-touch areas are the best place to start.
So those areas that are commonly touched, like doorknobs, toilet buttons, toilet seat lids. Please always close the toilet seat when you're flushing it.
But remember, disinfectant products won't work properly if a surface isn't visually clean. So the message, wash with soapy water first.
Any of the products that you want to put on often can't get through organic material or just dirt and grime.
When it comes to a deep clean, products with 70% alcohol or more work best, or bleach. Look out for products that include sodium hypochlorite, isopropanol and ethanol on the back.
Most products haven't been tested against COVID-19 because it's brand new. So if they're saying that it's antibacterial or antiviral, that should cover COVID-19.
Now is also the time to clean up the workplace. The top tips include wiping down your workspace before starting a shift with disinfectant, wiping down your desk phone and your mobile too, banning handshakes when possible, washing your hands after you eat or touch surfaces, and then sanitising once they're clean.
All you need to do is ensure that you've removed germs that you don't know are there after you've been to school or out shopping or just before you make dinner.
And if you're still looking for extra protection, there are also medical grade air purifiers to help prevent the spread of germs and viruses.